bill and in the crime bill and in the things he has been able to pass and in the budget bill that was passed, all of these, and I'm sure there are more, I just didn't focus on a list of them, but all of these things are things that the American people wanted, and support. So it's not his programs or his policies that they have been able to damage. And I have found that, you know, somebody said to me the other day, the GOP stands for gridlock on parade. And what I have found is that the Republicans don't want to take on the programs because they feel that they're good programs. So in order to impede the president and try to create failure, they have cast all of these doubts on his person and on him and his wife and his family, but rather than tackle the programs themselves.
Let's look at the party in the state of Tennessee, and again to not only look at the party, but look at some of the candidates to sort of give us, from your perspective, sort of a blow-by-blow in all of the districts that you've got candidates that are running in that you'd like to support this morning, and of course that you'd like to at least recommend to our audience this morning.
Well, of course, I can recommend every one of the Democratic candidates. You were asking about the state of the party. The Democratic Party is so alive, so well, and so healthy in this state. And it always has been, because it's been an open party. And its openness has brought a vitality and an energy and a competition with it. And it's been just wonderful. We have, I always used to laugh at the Republicans who picked a candidate to run, and we had these wonderful rowdy battles and contests and primaries, and everybody got the kinks out of their campaigns, and they had their running shoes on and their energy high, and they were ready to go come the end of the primary season. And the Republicans just sort of handpicked somebody and put him in place, and sometimes he did well. And notice I always said he, because the Republicans have never nominated a woman. You know, the person was just sort of put in place. Sometimes they did well, but more often than not, it was a token candidate, and it was an unsuccessful campaign. But the Democrats have always done well. We just had a spirited primary for the governor's race, and that was an exciting period of time where everybody got a chance to put their cards on the table and say, here I am, you know, if you like me, pick me on the day of the primary. And we have a superior candidate for governor. Phil Bredesen is magnificent. He is articulate, he is bright, he is thoughtful. He is, he's not a backslapper, as everybody knows, but he is a very bright man. He's run a major company, run it well, and what is state government but a major corporation? I mean, I think it's the biggest employer in the state of Tennessee is the government itself. And he knows about managing big corporations. And contrary-wise, you have Don Sundquist, who is a very pleasant man, and I've known him for years, and I have nothing bad to say about his character, his integrity. But he went up to Congress 12 years ago, and in the 12 years he's introduced 3 pieces of legislation which have been inconsequential. 2 had to do with the naming of a building, and 1 was on some other property question. But no bills of substance, no programs of substance, no apparent... He was not willing, if he had the vision, he was not willing to express it by introducing legislation. So I think there's no contest between the abilities, the proven ability of one man who has vision, who has made proposals, who has gotten his legislation through, and who has brought Nashville to such a high pitch. I have friends who say, I hope your guy loses. And I say, why do you say that? Said, because he has been so good for Nashville, I would hate to lose him. And I said, well, you know, let's share him with the rest of the state. And, you know, these are people who care deeply about this community, but I see the community as larger than just Nashville. I see it going from Bristol to Memphis. Then you have Jim Sasser, who is not only a show horse these days, but also a workhorse. And he has been responsible for getting so many solid pieces of legislation passed. He has the experience, but the integrity and the an understanding of the majesty of the United States Senate, and he brings such dignity and is a man so respected by his colleagues. I was deeply touched. Senator Dodd from Connecticut was talking to me one night about Jim Sasser and was talking about his integrity. And when senators need help or need advice or need counsel, it's Jim Sasser they go to. And that is a wonderful compliment. Then we have Jim Cooper, who, you know, is a member of Congress, and wants a promotion and wants to go on to the Senate. And Jim reminds me in many ways of Albert Gore Jr. He is a man who is very bright, studies an issue thoroughly, takes the issue to a level where he has proposed legislation. He becomes a master of that legislation. Just Al Gore became a master on the environment and a master on the question of technology and the technology revolution. Jim Cooper did the same thing with healthcare. And these are our bright young stars who are